So I wanted to do this before I go about my daily business. Um, I'm kind of happy my main channel passed 29,000 subscribers today. This one's at 1,910 last time I looked. Very glad to have everybody on board that's on board. There's been an interesting thing going on. The whole Logan Paul thing has asked some questions that I think it's about time they asked. When you go to Hollywood and you want to become an actor, you get an agent, you have handlers that take care of you, and famously, Britney Spears had a major meltdown at one point in her career about 10 years ago now, and she ended up having handlers to take care of her because she wasn't really capable of doing it. Um, there's a lot of people who make a lot of money on this platform, and they don't have uh, the knowledge of either. It could either be they don't realize how fortunate they are, or they just have too much money without being told how to manage any of it. I think one advantage I have to being an older YouTuber um, is that I've had that full time job. I had 20 plus years of working a full time job before I started doing this YouTube thing. So I understand how all this works, and I got all kinds of stuff on my plate, and I don't let any of it go to my head, and I also don't take it for granted. When it became clear to me, it was almost a year ago now, that any kind of questionable content they might remove monetization for, I went, okay, well, I got to stop swearing then. So swearing is very sporadic for me when I'm on video, and I'm very careful with when and how and what I say, and that's just because it's their platform. And it's so weird because I always hear people saying that if you demonetize videos, that's censorship. It isn't, though. Not really. Yeah, it means that I'm doing the job and I'm not getting paid for it as much as this guy or that guy. But it's not really censorship. It's kind of sloppy in how it's executed. I will agree with that. But censorship would be just flat out removing everything. And for the most part, I haven't seen them do that. Have they been reactionary? Well, yeah. But I understand it from their perspective that they have a certain amount of people who bring in the ad revenues, and if they aren't bringing in the ad revenues, then there's nothing to share with the rest of us. I've been okay with some channels losing their right to advertising content, and it's funny because people say, well, it depends on what your topic is, and if it's this topic, they'll demonetize. I haven't really seen that, but then again, I stay out of all the darker parts of YouTube. I think what else I am happy about is this. So if they shut down, and I'm not going to say anybody in particular right now, but if they shut down channels that are abusing the system, channels that are promoting this stupid Tide Pod challenge, people are that stupid. Like here's what I understand: the only difference between Tide Pods and laundry soap is that it's in a pod.
It's concentrate.
It's in a, and I don't see people going, today I'm gonna drink bleach, because we understand that'll make us die. But if it's in a wonderful little color, we go, hey, this is kind of fun, I'm gonna eat it. And 10 years ago, you would get people giving you $5 to try to eat one and then laugh at you for being stupid enough to try it. um and now that's the kind of crap that goes viral. I don't do any of that. I talk about movies, I talk about TV, I talk about hockey, and again, it a lot of it has to comes down to the fact that I'm a lot older. If I was in my late teens, early 20s, I don't think I'd be doing that kind of stuff. But my videos would be more over the top. They'd be more reactionary. There'd be more emotional videos. While I'm watching a hockey game, there'd be more videos of me cursing and swearing during a game and throwing stuff because of a call or not, a call made or not made. You'd be seeing me watching a movie and posting reviews on here talking about it was the worst movie ever, and it was the best movie ever, and they'd be all emotional, all these great, and I don't get that way anymore. Age has kind of settled me down that way. And it's funny because, of course, if I was, going to get really angry and really upset all the time, it would probably go pretty viral. A friend of mine, he's got his Twitch account, and I don't know how well he's doing on it, but, I talk to him every now and then on Facebook. One of the reasons that I keep Facebook open. And he's decided that on Twitch he's going to dig out all of his old games going all the way back to the days of Atari. Any game he couldn't finish, and Atari games normally don't have a finish, so he's going to be disappointed in that one. But for games he couldn't finish, he's going to try to finish them on Twitch. And I said, there's games that I didn't necessarily finish, but it's because I raged at them. And I said, I don't think that it would be good for my psyche if I film myself raging at a game because it's BS. Um, I hear a lot about video games like, oh, they overpower the opposition or they overpower the enemies at this stage of the game, and it's just stupid. And all I'm thinking is, they've been doing that since the 80s. I used to play Tecmo Baseball was my game back in the 80s, and Tecmo Baseball was so much fun. And I'd have a perfect team. I'd make sure all my pitchers were exactly the way I wanted them, and that everything was just great. And then the seventh inning would come around, and I'd be up like 6 or 7 to nothing. And if you got up by 10 runs at the end of an inning, the game would be over. And with Tecmo Baseball, I would race to try to get to that 10 inning difference before the seventh, because in the seventh inning you couldn't get anybody out. It was almost impossible. I could change pitchers. I could have left-handers, right-handers, guys with fastballs, guys with curveballs. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Everything was out of the park, or a pitcher would get a hit, sometimes a double, and I'd be like, "Are you serious?" And I'd just start raging because I'd have a 7-0 lead, come out of the seventh inning, it'd be 7-7, and I'd lose the game 9-7. I'd just rage. Whereas if I could just pile on the runs before the seventh and get the game over, so it was 10-0, I had no problems. And he said, and I said at the end of the comment to him, I said, honestly, people would probably really enjoy watching me play that. And he said, "Yep, people like salty on the internet." So I think that's part of the issue with YouTube. Because here's the thing. So let's say I post that. So I play Tecmo. I'm going nuts. I'm cursing and swearing and throwing stuff. You guys might find that really entertaining. It might go viral. It might go everywhere. But if I'm a company, so if I'm an advertiser for Walmart or Purina or Pepsi or Coke or any of them, I may look at that video and see my ad before that video and go, "Man, I don't that's not something I want my company associated with." And that's what this is. That's what happens. So for me, I take pride in the fact that there's family friendly content on both channels. One of my favorite things on my main channel, and I'm trying to do it here as well, is that I know there's families and there's couples that watch videos on my channel together, and that there's parents who weed through what their kids look at on the internet. They see my videos and they go, "Okay, if you want to listen to stuff about hockey, you watch his channel," because I'm not cursing and swearing, and I'm not over the top like some people. I'm just myself. I amp it up a little bit, but I'm pretty much just myself. So I do think that 2018 is going to be another year of reckoning for some people. But I also think that for the really big millions of subscriber channels, they're making so much money off Patreon and off merchandise that they don't really get touched anyways. So they don't really care. And that's what makes it more dangerous. Because they don't care. They don't care what they're doing to me or any other small providers of content on YouTube. They don't care because they're still making their money either way. And the big controversy for Logan Paul, for an example, everybody's like, "Oh, that's terrible, that's terrible." He gained thousands of subscribers out of it. Thousands. So this is societal, and society is saying, "We want to watch this." It's a young part of society, which is another part of it. And because it's a young part of society, it's a vulnerable part of society, and that's why the crackdown's important. So I do get caught as collateral damage. I do have videos that get flagged. It happens every day. But you know what? At the end of the day, when they get this straightened out, odds are for creators like myself that are promoting family level content, we shouldn't get hit. And I'm doing my best to build up both channels and get to a point where people turn to me for not only hockey news but for movies, TV stuff as well. I would really like to every week be able to go and catch a brand new movie that's brand new in the theater. That's a challenge with my current job, my schedule, and with the hockey channel as well. That would mean taking time out of hockey to go and watch a movie for this channel, and financially that would be a hazardous decision right now, but we're getting there. So there you go. There's my view on the whole thing. I think for older YouTubers like myself, I think we can navigate it. Red Letter Media will navigate it. I want to say Goblin Productions. I know it's Brad. Stone Gremlin. Stone Gremlin Productions, definitely they'll navigate as well because they're all in the same age range as myself. I think we'll adapt because I think we also understand the the whole just how lucky we are. Probably a little more than some of the younger crowd, especially with the amount of money they make. It is a crazy amount of money they make. So it would be easy for that to go to your head when you're 19, 20 years of age. I have how much in the bank? Woohoo! Let's go buy a Ferrari. Like it's and not only that, my final addition would be this. So you got a young kid with a whole bunch of money. You're going to have a whole lot of people who are lined up to sell them drugs, to sell them cars, to do anything that they can to pry that money out of their hands, realizing that because they're younger, they're more likely to fall for a scam. They're more likely to just throw money away because they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to make another $1 million next month anyway, so yeah, I'll give you this. And so that's happening too, and that's always happened. It always happened in Hollywood. You'd watch teen star after teen star who would end up living the rock and roll lifestyle, ended up either passing away or end up in rehab, and their career would be destroyed. The people who destroyed their careers, they don't care. They made their money. And now that's moved away from the younger Hollywood crowd. It almost seems like it's moving into YouTube territory where YouTubers have become celebrities and now they're likely being offered a lot of the crap that the kids in the 80s were. And sometimes the offers would probably be very, very tantalizing. So here's to hoping that things get cleaned up, starting with some recent events, because it only hurts the rest of us. So thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you for sitting through ads. It's may seem like not a whole lot to people. Like if I watch an ad, it really doesn't make a difference, but it does. It does. As I've seen on my main channel and on this one, if you let YouTube creators know through sitting through an ad, and they look back at a video and they go, wow, this one made twice as much money as this one, even though they got the same view count. It tells them this video is something that's more popular than this one. So they're more likely to provide the content that generates the revenue because that tells them what the users want to see. I love that system. It's a great system. And the way I see it, everything else that's going on right now, we're just ironing out the kinks. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And hey, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.